ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्यनाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। हे कृष्णकरुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Welcome all of you. Today we are doing the last part of this series of external and internal reasons for Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance in this world. And this month also we'll be celebrating the Gaur Purnima festival. So I was in the fourth chapter of Adi Leela, and again I will just show from 39th onwards. I think up to 40 I finished. I will show the 39th onwards. This is fourth chapter of Adi Leela. So we'll recite the obeisances verse here. Shri Chaitanya Prasadena Tat Rupasya Vedirnayam Balopi Kurute Shastram Drishtva Brajavilasinaha. That's the obeisances verse in this chapter. He says here that by the mercy of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, even a child can describe Krishna, the enjoyer of the pastimes of Vraja, according to the scriptures. So even though in our understanding of Sanskrit or scholarship or study of the scriptures, we may be like children. He is giving a blessing here that by Lord Chaitanya's mercy, very difficult things can become easily understandable by taking shelter of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, in the beginning of this chapter, you will see the external reasons were summarized here again. Lord Krishna descended in this world to take away the earth's burden. Along with him, all the other incarnations also descend within his body. And also we know Krishna kills all the demons and everybody. And the internal reasons, the two internal reasons are given here. Prema rasa aswadana. There's a verse which says this. This is 15th, 16th verses. Two reasons. One is Prema rasa aswadana and Ragamarga pracharana. So Lord not only relishes the love of the devotees, but he also propagates the Ragamarga bhakti. Thanks to him, not only he just relished and went away, but he also did prachar of the same. So we are all benefiting also from his prachar even till date. So he set a beautiful example. If you see, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also stayed in Jagannath Puri 18 years. He relished practicing Krishna Prema in the company of his loving associates. And also in South India, as well as to other parts of in the west and north, Mahaprabhu went for 6 years and preached Ragamarga, Bhakti Pracharana. He did. So these things he completed. 7 to 38, so I'm not revising them. Now we are going directly to this part, here. 39th verse said the same. Lord Chaitanya has two intentions: taste prema and propagate nama sankirtana. So there's a beautiful verse. It says, this one, 40th verse says that he garlanded the world with the wreath of nama and prema. Very easy to remember. So how you chant the Nam, you get prem, because within the Nam there is prem. Within the holy name there is Krishna prem hidden. You have to chant the holy name and benefit from it. Just like a fruit has a cover. Actually, as soon as you open the fruit, you get the fruit inside. The holy name appears to be like a simple name externally. We don't know what it is. But you find the prema, not only prema. Within the holy name there is dham. And within the dham there is Lord's personality. And in that personality there is rasa. And we exchange the rasa with him. Like we say, raso vai saha rasam hi evayam labdva anandi bhavati. The jiva becomes anandi, labdva, by obtaining the association of the Supreme Lord Krishna. All this is made possible by the Nam Jap, which we are trying to chant to the best of our ability. But as we chant the Namabhas, or offenseless chanting, and eventually you come to Shuddhana, these benefits will be experienced immensely. And now, the 42nd onwards, the 42nd verse is explaining about the devotees of four primary rasas all feel their sentiments is the most excellent. Some of you might have had this question, that how is it that Hanuman is, in his own dasya rasa, but does he ever think in his mind that I want to go to Goloka, I want to get a promotion like the other covered boys or something? And such a thought never crosses the mind of Hanuman, because Hanuman is completely satisfied in his mood of being a servant of Rama. There are actually real pastimes to illustrate this point. Actually, Garuda, Hanuman, they are all in the mood of servant of the Lord, and they are never impressed with wanting to become a friend of the Lord. In fact, they think to be friend of the Lord is like sort of offensive. Or to climb on the shoulder of the Lord is offensive. So they have no attraction for that. And one of the reasons for that is Krishna gives complete satisfaction to devotees in their own rasa with him. So therefore he is saying that amongst all of them, the Shringara rasa is the highest. In the Goloka, even a grass thinks, how blessed I am that Krishna, while dancing in the pastures of Vrindavan, he puts his lotus feet on my head. He considers himself most fortunate. In the material world, if we were in an inferior position, we would be feeling a kind of inferiority and will be hankering for a higher position. Therefore, superimposing that mentality, sometimes people ask, how in case I get a grass position in spiritual world, will I get promotion to covered boy or covered girl? People ask like that, considering situation to be like material world. But here it is said that they all are satisfied in their own rasa, serving Krishna. It's like 1 liter, 2 liter, 3 liter, 4 liter, 5 liter cans. If you fill up all these 5 liter cans with milk from a milk ocean, so they will all be full in themselves. 1 liter can is full in itself, 5 liter can is full in itself. Nevertheless, from objective point of view, the 5 liter can has more quantity of milk. In the same manner, Shringara Rasa is very much glorified. The Madhuri Rasa of the gopis is very much glorified. In that, there are two divisions of Shringara Rasa explained, Sakya and Parakya, and the Parakya Rasa is only in Braja. Actually, I did a little research on Radharani and her husband. There are 3-4 references in Padma Purana mentioned, as well as not only Padma Purana, there are 1 or 2 more Puranas. I can send a reference to Brajagripa Prabhu. You'll be amazed to know these Puranas very clearly say that in Vrindavan, Radha and Krishna are lovers. But the one who becomes Radharani's husband, I can just show you the reference. You can see for yourself. Just a minute. Yeah, this is the one. I'm just. Are you able to see? Am I sharing it?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes.
See, Brahma Vaivarta Puran, Khanda 2 and Prakriti Khanda Adhyaya is given there. See, Atite Dvadashabde tu Trishtvamta Nava Yavanam. So, here is explaining. See, Mahadev Ji ne kaha, is saying Hindi. 12 varsha. Okay, I'll show you in English. Okay, this is written in Hindi. I'll translate it for you. 12 वर्ष बीतने पर उन्हें नूतन यौवन में प्रवेश करती देख माता पिता ने रायण वैश्य के साथ उसका संबंध निश्चित कर दिया. Which means Radharani's marriage was arranged with a person called Rayan. उस समय श्री राधा घर में अपनी छाया को स्थापित करके स्वयं अंतर्धान हो गई. Which means Radharani in her home left behind her expansion called shadow expansion, chaya, it says. And she disappeared from there. उस छाया के साथ ही उक्त रायण का विवाह हुआ. So his marriage happened with Rayan, he says here. See the Sanskrit verse you can see here. Chayam samstapya tad gehe. Gehe means home. Chayam samstapya tad gehe sa antardanam avapaha. It says. That's the verse here. So, and then the next verse says, Mahadev ne kaha, here it says, Chaturdashabde tu kamsapite chalena cha jagama gokulam krishnaha shishirupi jagatpati krishna mata yashoda ya rayanastad sahodaraha goloke gopakrishnam shaha sambandhat krishna matulaha. He is saying here, 14 वर्ष व्यतीत होने पर जगतपति श्री कृष्ण जो उस समय शिशु रूप में थे, कंस के भय से कपट द्वारा गोकुल गांव लाए गए. भगवान कृष्ण की माता यशोदा का वह रायण सहोदर सगाबाई है. सो ही इज लाइक ए कजिन ब्रदर ऑफ माँ यशोदा. एंड जो गोलोक में कृष्ण का अंश इज सेइंग, सी इफ यू सी द थर्ड लाइन, कृष्ण माता यशोदा या रायण सहोदर है गोलोके गोप कृष्णांशः. इट इज मेंशन्ड कृष्णांशः संबंधात कृष्ण मातुलः. मातुलः मीन्स द मैटरनल अंकल. और यहाँ यशोदा के संबंध से उनका श्री कृष्ण का मामा है. इज एक्सप्लेनिंग हियर. सो yeah, so that's the explanation. Here I have just highlighted, if you see. Yeah, Radha and Krishna are divine beings. They are not just humans like us. Hence, the story won't be similar to humans' interpretation of love and marriage. Radha has always been married to Krishna and only to Krishna. Whether it is in the spiritual realm or in the material realm, Radha and Krishna are one. If Krishna is the body, then Radha is the soul. That's what the word Atma Rama is said. Krishna is Atma Ram and his Atma is Radha, it is said. Yeah, this is the same explanation is given here. But there are more quotes also. Here, this is another quote here. See here, this quote says, she was born from one part of Krishna's body, says Asha Goswami. There is actually reference from Shastra also. Krishna expanding from Krishna's left side. Yeah, there is one, there is another quote also, yeah. Yeah. This is Padma Purana. See, this is another quote here. In Padma Purana, Radha is referred to as the primal energy, Adi Shakti. And that's the cause of the entire creation, including the trio, Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, Shiva, everyone. Concentrating Krishna's blissful aspect as he is known as Raso Vaisaha. So she is also called by the other names like Radhini, Shakti, Shiv Shakti, Paraprakriti, Lakshmi, Mahamaya. So many names, different names are given. Actually, Padma Purana has many quotes. I have just given the reference in English, but you can get the quotes also. Actually, there is a video which I will send it to Prabhuji. You can see that it gives 3 different references in that video. Actually, this is the video. If I play it will take some time. There are 2 videos here. I will just email it to Prabhuji and he will pass it to all of you. So then we can. Okay, now back to our this thing. Okay, so now when we read about the pastimes of Radha and Krishna, that's one place which says that Rayan is actually shadow of Krishna. Who is marrying? Shadow of Radharani. Like that it is said. What is this shadow potency? It explains actually that why Krishna does it. Is there any particular reason for this? Why can't Krishna properly marry peacefully Radharani and then live a life peacefully? Some people ask. There is a reason for this. Everybody can understand this point. That in when one is in teenage, say in something like 12 or 13 or 14 years, at that time the loving affairs produces a kind of fever in the heart. There is a kind of secrecy in love affairs. Someday somebody gives a written letter. A boy may give it to a girl, going to keep it in a notebook, and she may not want to show it to anybody. Sometimes by mistake it may fall off the notebook, and other friends will ask, what is that? And she says, oh, nothing, she just hides it. So there's a lot of thrill and suspense involved in it, in such a kind of love affair. But once marriage is done, and they beget a couple of children, the thrill is not like in love affairs. It's a different type of life, and more responsible life. You will see that in married life. So Krishna wants to maintain the thrill and the secrecy and the adventure and the apparently a kind of fear associated with all that, shyness and shame. All these things are included in the love affairs. In order to keep this thrill, eternally Krishna and the gopis are lovers. For example, the gopis cannot just go with Krishna to forest to watch his forest pastimes. Although they are all sitting in a group together meditating on where Krishna must have gone and what he must be doing with his friends. He must be eating lunch now and all that. And they can't go. Now we may say, why don't you at least have this freedom in spiritual world so that they can also go to forest and watch Krishna's pastime? We say, then again the same thrill will not be there in that. So therefore, Krishna expands. There is one more Purana which says that when Radharani, who is supreme goddess of fortune, appears in this world, her husband Narayana, he appears as the this thing, Rayan, like that there is mentioned. That means Narayana only appears as Rayan and he marries Radharani in order to increase the sweetness of this pastime, it is mentioned. So therefore, many people are not aware of these things. They think that Radharani is actually married to somebody and then she's having an extramarital affair, and a lot of complicated ideas people have. And sometimes the Lord performs pastimes in order to increase the sweetness. Only devotees who are properly situated and have proper Shastric references can appreciate them. And one shouldn't get bewildered by some misunderstanding. So therefore, Krishna, that point of Radharani is lover said. So Radharani is actually expansion of Krishna in one sense. Radha Krishna Ekatanu, it is said. They both are one Atma or one body. Dui Dehadari, it is said. They expand into 2 forms. Like we say, Sri Radha Krishna Pranaya Mahima. No, sorry. It is said that Radha Krishna, let me tell it verse. Pranaya Vigritir, Kladini Shaktirasma, Ekatmanav, Api Bhuvipura, Deha Vedam Gatauto. See, Ekatmanav, it says. They are one Atma. But Api Bhuvipura, Deha Vedam, it says. They divide into 2. Gatauto. Chaitanyakyam, Prakatamaduna, Tadvayam, Chakyam Aptam. But as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they again became one, he says. Radha Bhavaditi Suvalita, Naomi Krishna Swarupam. So that's a verse. So how can one Atma become 2 and 2 Atma become 1? You may have a question. I'm asked by GBC SPT to speak on the Achintya Beda Beda. It's according to Indian time today evening I'm speaking. That will be, I think, evening 6:30 to 7:30, I think. There I'll be speaking about Jiva Goswami's explanation on these things. So how the absolute truth can flexibly perform such things will be understood in the Achintya Beda Beda philosophy. So in this way, Radha and Krishna are one, they divide into two for the sake of Leela. Why the Leela requires two people? Love requires exchange between the lover and the beloved. Whereas if one is Lord is only Ekatma and he is with himself only, there is no exchange of love. According to the impersonal understanding of Supreme Brahman being all alone, satisfied in himself, there is no exchange of love. Like we see parents and children, exchange of love. Husband and wife, exchange of love. Lover and the beloved, exchange of love can happen to people. So therefore, Lord manifests himself as Srimati Radharani. So coming back to our slideshow, sorry, here, yeah, yes. And in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Shukadeva Goswami presents the word one gopi he will say in many places, because he's even afraid to utter the name of Radharani, because if he utters, he will go unconscious and he will not be able to further speak on the Srimad Bhagavatam. Owing to her extraordinary devotion called Mahabhava Swarupini Radha Thakurani, it is said. Her love is pure, mature, and surpasses the love of all others. And Lord Chaitanya is the essence of love of the gopis, which is Radharani's love was carried by Lord Krishna when he appeared in this world as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Lord Krishna desires to take. Now comes the famous verse, which is relevant to our discussion here. The primary reason for Lord Chaitanya's descent was to accept the ecstatic love, Bhava Grahanera, he says, in 1.5 Adi Leela. So here, if you see the 55th verse, explains, this is a famous verse. You will recite this shloka. You all can repeat after me. Radha Krishna Pranaya Vikritir.
Radha Krishna Pranaya Vikritir.
Ladini Shakti Rasmat.
Ladini Shakti Rasmat.
Ekatmana Vapi Bhuvi Pura.
Ekatmana Vapi Bhuvi Pura.
Deha Bhedam Gatau Tau.
Deha Bhedam Gatau Tau.
Chaitanyakyam Prakatam
Chaitanyakyam
Tadvayam Chakyamaptam Radha Bhavaditi Suvalitam
Radha Bhavaditi Suvalitam
Naumi Krishna Swarupam. Yeah. See here, this is found in the Saru Damodar's diary, which is mentioned here, this famous verse, Radha Krishna Pranaya Vikritir Hladini Shakti Rasmat. The loving affairs of Radha and Krishna are the transcendental manifestations of the Lord's internal pleasure-giving potency. And Ekatmana Vapi, which means although Radha and Krishna are one in their identity, in the identity point of view, they are one actually. Api Bhuvipura Deha Bhedam Gatauta, means they separated themselves eternally. And Chaitanyakyam Prakatam Aduna. Now these two transcendental identities have again united. Tadbayam Chakyam Aptam. In the form of Lord Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And who is he? Radha Bhava Dhyuti Suvalitam. I bow down to Lord Chaitanya, who manifested himself with the sentiment and complexion of Srimati Radharani, although he is Krishna himself. See, two words are used here. He adopted the sentiment and complexion. So Radha Bhava Dhyuti is complexion, golden yellow color. That's identity. Sorry, that is a color, complexion. But Radha Bhava, when we say, that is sentiment. Bhava is sentiment, Dhyuti is complexion. So he adopted the sentiment and complexion of Radharani. Although he is Krishna Swarupam. In identity he is Krishna only, but he adopted this mood. So there are many histories associated with this. How Krishna adopted this mood is explained in various pastimes. I have read from the lecture, heard from the lectures of as well as Gaur Govind Swami Maharaj, as well as read in the book Krishna Kathamritam. There are books available you can get from Bhubaneswar, published by Madhavanand Prabhu. So I have read. I'll tell you one or two reasons how Krishna becomes Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. You see, there is a Radharani is mood called as man. Man means when Radharani apparently becomes angry. Now we should not compare it to ordinary anger of this world. In this world, when there is anger, it's really unpleasant. It produces burning sensation for everybody, and nobody is happy with that. Whereas Radharani's anger is a very sweet one. Prabhupada, for that matter, says even sometimes at home, husband wife have a little strain, and the love that follows such anger is very more pleasing. In the same manner, you will see that Radha and Krishna sometimes apparently are separated by the anger of Radharani. And why does she become angry? For various reasons. Like one time Krishna compared Radharani's face to a beautiful full moon. And Radharani became angry because the moon has some blemishes. How can someone compare your face to something with black blemishes like that? Or the Chandrama also sometimes it wanes, sometimes waxes and wanes. So she asked my face, do you think it is becoming small and big again and again, isn't it? So waxing and waning of the moon. Also the Chandra is connected to another gopi called Chandravali, who is also Radharani's expansion only, but she is expanded for increasing the fun and increasing the joy of Radha Krishna Leela. So she is like the Radharani is left wing and Chandravali is right wing. Just like sometimes even amongst one guru's disciples, there are two disciples having two groups preaching. Sometimes the group competes with the other group to distribute more books and attract. Just like devotees in Los Angeles, were holding Prabhupada because they distributed a lot of books. And Prabhupada wrote a letter to New York and said, devotees in New York, I'm supposed to come a week ago to your temple, but I'm sorry to say I can't come because these Los Angeles devotees are distributing so many books, they are holding me here. I'm unable to leave this place. Like the Prabhupada wrote. Similarly, Krishna also performs Leela with different groups of gopis. And they apparently have a competition. Like once Krishna goes to Chandravali's group, but then he is very fondly remembering Radha and his group. And he is telling Chandravali in a very absorbed condition, he's looking at Chandravali and saying, hey Radhe, like that he's calling her. And Chandravali, out of sarcasm, is looking at Krishna and saying, hey Kamsa, like that she's calling. And immediately Krishna comes to external consciousness. He says, hey, I look like Kamsa for you. And then Chandravali is asking, do you think I look like Radharani for you? So this kind of funny pastimes happen because of this. So Radharani was thinking, you are comparing me to Chandra. That means you are remembering Chandravali while talking to me. Like that she's thinking. So there are many. So in this way, when Radharani becomes rude, she becomes angry. Ati rude abhav. There are many examples given past time. This is one pastime which I told you now. At the time, Radharani turns her face away and she doesn't want to see anything that is blue. Even some of her gopis are wearing blue colored dress. She says, hey, if you wear this dress, I will not look at you also. So then all the gopis have to go and those who are wearing blue color have to change the color and come. She doesn't want to even see. Then when she turns her face away from Krishna, she looks at the blue sky. She doesn't want to see that also. Then she sees down and she doesn't want to see the blue sky also. So in this way, Radharani adopts a funny mood of anger and Krishna is begging her, but then she wouldn't entertain at all. So then he is driven away by Radharani's assistants. At that time, Radharani's assistants, Krishna goes actually to Vrinda Devi and asks her for some idea. How Radharani can again accommodate me and appreciate me as before. She is my great beloved. And Vrinda Devi tells that the best people to advise you are these two people, Lalita and Vishaka, who are the associates of Radharani. I'll check with them. So when Lalita and Vishaka, they both tell Krishna that, you see, your threefold mending form always makes you look very charming and attractive, and that actually Radharani remembers that form with which you attract everybody. Because she is upset now, you give up this form. Don't stand in the threefold bending form, stand erect. They said, Krishna started standing erect. They said, give up this flute, because she becomes angry with the way you play a flute and charm everybody again and again. although sometimes you do things which make her angry. Then he said, oh, I will have to give up my flute. They said, nevertheless, you can take a stick, no problem. So he gave the flute and accepted a stick. They said, this curly locks of hair are too attractive. If you show this curly locks of hair, she will not even look at you. So you shave it up. So Krishna shaved up that hair. Of course, Krishna eternally is called Keshava. He always has beautiful hair. But for the sake of this pastime, he manifests a shaven head. And they said, this is not all. You have to give up your Pitambar and Vaijayantimala and all these opulent ornaments in your body because of this only she is upset. You give up all this. So he gave up all that and became sannyasi. And they said, with all these things, you have to manifest some jewel-like tears in your eyes. Then she will take pity on you. So you become a beggar and you wander. Then she will take pity on you. So then I actually became like a monk or a mendicant, carrying a danda, shaven head, golden complexion, shining. Yeah. So he was wandering like this. So now he accepted this form and he was wandering. There is another pastime where in Vrindavan, in this particular form of, Krishna having become a beggar, he wanders. So while wandering as a beggar, he actually sings a song. He sings a song. He says that in the song he says that I am Sri Krishna. I am Sri Krishna, wandering in Braja, like that the song sings. Having become a beggar, begging for her love, like that he's singing a song. I am Sri Krishna, searching for Radha, having become a beggar, begging for her love. Like that this beggar is singing and wandering. Why at that time this song becomes important for Radharani? Radharani is asking all the gopis, hey, you drove him away. And they are saying, you only didn't want him. So he went away. And this is another type of problem. Radharani wants Krishna to be driven away, but actually she expects that Krishna will not go away. She will plead for her mercy. So then Radharani starts weeping. Then Gopi said, we'll still find out. And then they tell Radharani that this beggar is wandering. He's singing something about you, Radha and Krishna, let us call him. So they call this beggar and tell him to sing that song for Radharani. So, and then they are asking, can you actually see her palm and find out, what is the future of Radharani? Will she ever get her lover, Krishna? So he sees the hand and he says, 50% I can tell you, but other 50% is not in the hand, it's on the face, which Radharani is covering with her veil. Like that he says. So then he says, if she shows the face, I will immediately manifest the truth. So when she shows the face, by the time this beggar turns into Krishna, beautiful Krishna again. He has again curly locks of hair and bluish body, everything, the whole pastime ends there. So at that time, he manifested the form of Chaitanya also in that pastime. There is another pastime in the spiritual world once when Radha and Krishna sitting together. Krishna is asking Radharani a question. Hey Radha, you and all your associates, millions of devotees in the spiritual world are always serving me in such a sweet mood. And I am always in the receiving end. Last time one of the devotees sent that beautiful shloka of Tukaram that Lord Krishna is like a lotus, honey laden with beautiful fragrance. But the devotees of the Lord are like bumblebees who are relishing the beauty of Krishna, sweetness of Krishna, and fragrance of his qualities. And they relish like a bumblebee. But the lotus itself cannot relish that, isn't it? So Krishna tells the same thing to Radharani. When will I be able to taste the sweetness of the devotion that you all are experiencing? I feel bereft of it. You seem to be more happier than me. At that time, Radharani says, that is impossible for you because I think I have to put my power cord. I think just 1 minute. So, he says, Krishna, that you won't be able to taste that. How will you be able to taste devotion? You are not a devotee. You are devotees. You are Swami. You are a master. But then Krishna smiles. At the time when Krishna smiles, in Krishna's chest there is a necklace with a pendant in the middle. In that, Radharani is seeing there's a big shining glow coming out of that pendant and coming on the face of Radharani. And when Radharani looks into the pendant, you all know what's a pendant, no? The middle portion of the necklace. When Radharani looks there, an amazing sight she sees. A tall personality, golden in complexion, and he is actually having curly locks of hair also, curly hairs, and wearing very beautiful, dazzling yellow cloth in his body. His eyes are like lotus petals. And in the bank of a river, which is gushing with foaming, fresh waters, and the sandy beach of that river is like golden powder. And he's not alone. He is with many of his associates beating the mridanga, playing kartal, and dancing very beautifully with arms raised. So they are singing and dancing to the tune of the Mahamantra. She saw that beautiful sight. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So even she was charmed by that kirtan, Radharani. And her mind and heart started dancing to the tune of this personality. And she suddenly felt a tremendous, intense attraction to him. Then she asked Krishna, my Lord, who is this person? Besides you, I never feel attraction to anyone. How is it that I am feeling attraction to this person? Is that you? She asked. And Krishna didn't answer. He still continued smiling. Then she looked at him very intensely and said, oh, this fellow's eyes look exactly like my eyes. As Chapala as like my eyes. Because Radharani's eyes are like a bumblebee, both the eyes, and they move restlessly searching for Krishna. Is that me? She asked. And Krishna didn't say the answer to that. And Radharani thought very deeply. And then Krishna said, see, you told me that I won't be able to understand your heart and the heart of the devotees. This is the form in which I am going to understand the mood of a devotee. And he said, this is me, but I have adopted your mood of a devotee. For me to experience the rasa of devotion to Krishna, at the same time, distribute the same to the people of suffering people of Kali Yuga. And then hearing that, Radharani said, oh, if you have assumed this mood of mine, it's very dangerous. Because in kirtans, if you jump up and you fall on the ground, you will break your bones. It will be painful for you. Of course, you won't break your bones, but it will be painful for you when you fall flat on the ground. Because me and the devotees in devotional ecstasy, we lose external composure and we several times fall unconscious on the ground. So I will wrap up your body with my complexion of golden complexion. So Radharani gave her bhava to Krishna, and Radharani gave her Diti also to Krishna, the external complexion. That's what Radha Bhava Dyuti Suvalitam, it is mentioned. Her bhava and Dyuti he took up. And that Radharani, who has given her bhava and Dyuti to Krishna, that is called Gadadhar Pandit. Gadadhar Pandit, as I told you before, he is accompanying Krishna also. And Krishna has accepted the Radha's bhava and Dyuti now, then he becomes Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So that is Gaur Gadadhar, worshipped by Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur, his favorite deities, Gaur Gadadhar. Why his favorite deities? Because he is most pleased with Radharani, who even gives the experience of being a devotee to Krishna by giving her bhava and Dyuti. So he worshipped Gaur Gadadhar as his favorite deities. And our Srila Prabhupada worshipped Gaur Nitai as his favorite deities. Because Bhaktivinoda Thakur worshipped only Radha Gandharvika Giridhari with one hand raised by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu standing. You must have seen that. That is the favorite deity of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati. But when Prabhupada went to America, he thought one Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is not enough. We need Nityananda Prabhu's mercy. In America, it is too difficult to preach plays. Because Prabhupada had to preach to hippies at that time. So then he established Gaur Nitai on the altar. So, of course, Nityananda Prabhu is most merciful in delivering the conditioned souls and handing them over to Radharani. And then Radharani hands over seva to the jivas and then accepts the service and gives it to Krishna. And then takes Krishna's blessings and gives it to Jivas, like that she does. So in this way, now you got an idea about how Radharani becomes, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Yeah. So that's what is Radha Bhavajyoti Svaritam. So, and this is actually the fifth verse of the Adi Lila first chapter, that is elaborated explanation is given here. And the 4.55, the elaboration is there. Yeah. So now here, if you see the further verses, the position of Srimati Radhika is explained in the 59th verses. She is called the Pranaya. The words are same words are explained here. She is a transformation of Krishna's love. She is internal energy called Swarup Shakti. Swarup Shakti has two main prominent Shaktis, which is Sambit and Hladini. These two put together are called Swarup Shakti. Sambit and Hladini together. And Sandini Shakti, that is actually the department of our Balramji. He expands the spiritual world and everything. And the Sambit and Hladini put together are called Swarupa, that is Radharani is also called Swarup Shakti. Yeah. And see, this is what I was telling you, 68, 69. Mahabhava Swarupa Sri Radha Thakurani, it is said. Yeah. And then here comes the explanation of Radharani's supreme position amongst Krishna's consorts. 69 onwards you will find a beautiful explanation from here. Sarva Guna Khani Krishna Kanta Shiromani. She is like a gold mine of blissful, powerful qualities. And amongst those goddesses of fortune who attract Krishna, she is the Shiromani. She is the topmost. Like there is one Padma Purana verse also which says that Devi Krishnamayi Prokta Radhika Paradevata Lakshmi Sarva. Yeah, that verse will come. Lakshmimayi Sarva Kanti Sammohini Para. Here it is there. This is 83rd verse. Devi Krishnamayi Prokta Radhika Paradevata Sarva Lakshmimayi Sarva Kanti Sammohini Para. The translation of this is Radharani is a central figure for all Lakshmis. She possesses all the attractiveness to attract the all-attractive personality of Godhead. She is primeval, internal potency of the Lord. So before approaching that verse, Kaviraj Goswami explains many things here. If you see here, the Lakshmi Gana, Mahishi Gana, Prajadevi Gana. Three you can see here, the three categories. Lakshmi Gana are called the Vaibhava Vilashamsha. Mahishi Gana means the Dwarka queens. Vaibhava Prakasha. And Brajadevi Gana are all expansions of Radharani's body called Kaja Vyuha, the 8 gopis. 8 gopis are direct expansions of Radharani, like Lita, Vishaka, Chitra, Tunga Vidya, and all of them. Brajadevi Gana. So all these expansions come from Radharani. That is her greatness. We'll recite one more verse. Govindanandini Radha. Govinda Mohi. Govinda Sarvasva Sarva. Kanta Shiromani. Yeah. This is the 82nd famous verse. So she is called as the Govinda Anandini. She is the greatest pleasure giver of Krishna. Actually, Krishna's pleasure itself takes on the form of Radharani. Krishna's Ananda Swarupam has taken on the form of Radharani, it is said. So Govinda Anandini, Radha. And Govinda Mohini, she charms Krishna by her devotion. And she charms jivas like us by her compassion. Vatsalyadi Guna Ujjvala, Bhagavati. She charms us by her merciful disposition. And she charms Krishna by her devotion. And Govinda Sarvasva, her devotion is so great. Krishna is spellbound by it. Like she is the best cook. She is the best dancer. She is the best dresser. She is the best singer. She is the best mimicry performer. She is the best in every aspect, all the 64 colors. With all the 64 colors, she is rendering service to Krishna. And in that way, Krishna is captivated by her devotion. Sarva Kanta Shiromani. She is the queen of all the Lakshmis. All Lakshmis are actually emanating from her. This is Radharani's position, you see. Yeah. This is the verse I was telling you, 83 to 95. This verse is very beautifully explained. This also we all can recite together. Very important verse. Devi Krishnamayi Prokta
देवी कृष्णमयी प्रोक्ता
Radhika Paradevata
राधिका परदेवता
Sarva Lakshmi Mayi Sarva
सर्वलक्ष्मीमयी सर्व
Kanti Sammohini Para.
कांति सम्मोहिनी परा.
See, the word Devi means resplendent and beautiful. Her body is glowing. She is like the love abode of worship. She is the greatest worshipper of Krishna. That is Devi. And Krishna Mayi means her within and without are Krishna. Constantly like a sponge soaked in water. Like that she is completely soaked in Krishna. Remembrance of Krishna always. And she is, Krishna Mayi also means she is identical with Krishna and she embodies the Prema Rasa. That is a Krishna Mayi. And also, anywhere her eye falls there, she gets Krishna Spurti, it is said. Just like, for example, if like a mother sometimes may see the child's dress, she may see the child's toy, or whenever she sees anything in connection to the child, immediately she gets a Spurti of the remembrance of her son or daughter, isn't it? Immediately. In the same manner, Radharani, wherever she looks, immediately that is connected to Krishna for her, like she sees the tamal tree, and immediately she and the gopis are thinking, this is Krishna. When they see a wild buffalo in the forest making a noise, immediately they go and embrace the tamal tree, thinking to be Krishna for protection. Like that. Like you all know, like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw that sand dune and he ran behind it, thinking of it to be Govardhan. Hantaya Madrima Balam Haridasa Varyo Yat Rama Krishna Charana Sparsha Pramoda, singing that famous verse. Oh, great mountain, great Haridas, servant of Krishna, like that. So she sees Krishna in every place. One time when Radharani was standing with her Sakhis, Lalita and Vishaka, she told them, hey Sakhi, don't you see here? See this blue boy, Krishna coming. They looked there and said, what are they talking? That is blue clouds. She said, no, don't you see his beautiful Vaijayanti Mala that he is wearing? They looked and said, oh, that is rainbow. What are you talking? And she said, look carefully, don't you see the shining, dazzling Pitambar? They said, oh, Radhe, that is actually lightning in the clouds. So in this way, she's seeing the lightning of the cloud and thinking of a Pitambar, like this. And that is the time she sings this verse. Tunde Tandavani Ratim Vitanute. Our Rupa Goswami, when he sings this song, he exactly adopts the mood of Srimati Radharani and sings that song. Like Radharani is telling Lalita and Vishaka, when I chant the names of Krishna, when the holy name enters my ears, it enters my heart, and there it conquers all my mind and senses. And I have these two syllables. I don't know how much potency, how much sweetness is invested in this two-syllable word, Krishna, these words. So then she starts continuously singing the names of Krishna and loses her external consciousness and she falls on the ground. So therefore Radharani's bhava is most appreciated by Krishna. And even Krishna was so stunned by once seeing her bhava. Once Radharani was sitting in the Vrindavan park bench and Krishna was sitting next to him. And at that time there was a bumblebee which was hovering on Radharani's lotus feet, considering it to be lotus. Like this. And Radharani became fearful. She immediately took her feet up and she sat in Padmasana, and not to be, afraid of the bumblebee. But then the bumblebee again moved from there. So Radharani's hands, Radharani took her hands inside her sari like this. Then the bumblebee started hovering Radharani's face. Like she became afraid. So then Krishna told Madhumangal, hey Madhumangal, drive this bumblebee away. Madhumangal chased after the bumblebee and bumblebee flew away. And then Madhumangal came back and said, don't worry Krishna, Madhu has gone away. Like that he said. So that Madhumaki is also sometimes called Madhu. So when Radharani heard it, what did he say? Madhu has gone away? Then she thought Madhusudan has gone away, she thought. Immediately she burst into tears and loudly started weeping. And Krishna said, no, Radha, I am here, he said. And she had actually fallen practically to the ground and her hair stood on end, and she had tears in her eyes and continuous streaming of tears. So when he saw that, Krishna was thinking, even in my presence, and Krishna also cried tears, and that is how the Prem Sarovar was formed in Vrindavan. Both the tears mixed together and formed a Sarovar, a lake. So in this way, Krishna thought that even in my presence, she is experiencing my separation. Sometimes even mothers and fathers, they fear that when my child goes to school, I'll be separated from him. They fear, they don't want to be separated. Similarly, she also thought, even in presence of Krishna, she feared that this is only a few moments I am with him, I may be separated. So that was the time Krishna thought I should actually take the form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to experience what type of devotion she experiences like this. And that will come in a later verse. So that is Krishnamayi. And Radhika means, she worships Anaya Radhito Nunam. There is a verse in the Srimad Bhagavatam which says, she is the best worshipper of Krishna. Therefore, she is called as Radhika. And Paradevata means supreme goddess. She is the protectress of all. She protects and mother of the entire universe. Sarva Lakshmi. She is the original source of all goddess of fortune. Like this verse is explained. So, and then it says here, if you see, that's another verse. Radha Purna Shakti Krishna Purna Shakti Man Dvivastu Bheda Nahi Shastra Praman. He says that Radha is Purna Shakti and Krishna is Purna Shaktiman. He is Shaktiman, she is Shakti. Like a sun and sunlight are inseparable. Fire and heat are inseparable. Musk of the, what do you call it? Kasturi and Kasturi smell are inseparable. Radha and Krishna are one. Our Bhaktivinoda Thakur says a prayer. He says, Atapa Rakita Surya Nahi Jani Nahi Mani. He says, I will not accept a sun without sunlight. Similarly, I will not accept Krishna without Radharani. He's saying, because Krishna is a trickster, but Radharani is very merciful and compassionate on jivas like us. So only I will worship Krishna when he is with Radharani, like that he is saying. So like sun and sunlight are inseparable, Radha and Krishna are one. That's what is explained here. And then here he says, here Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying, Radhikara bhava murti prabhura antara Shayi bhave sukha dukha uthe nirantara. Lord Chaitanya's heart is the image of Radhika's emotions. So this is how Krishna appears now in Gaur Purnima day. And he appears to be mad in separation from Krishna. And Swarup Damodar sings many verses from Srimad Bhagavatam. Ramananda Rai and Swarup Damodar are on either side of Lord Chaitanya, pacifying him with the verses from Srimad Bhagavatam and reciting the Gopi Gitam and similar verses. And once Janani Prabhu in Mayapur was telling us, you can serve Lord Chaitanya in two ways, because Lord Chaitanya is Krishna in the mood of Srimati Radharani, crying for Krishna. So you can pacify him like Swarup Damodar and Ramananda Rai by singing some verses suitable to the mood of Chaitanya and whatever mood he is in. Or you can take Prabhupada's books and go and distribute in Sankirtan. Both the activities will please. So he asked all of us, which one would you like to do? Everybody said second one is more easy, distributing Prabhupada's books. Because, we can go in Sankirtan and distribute and win the heart of Lord. It's more easy than reciting the appropriate verse. Because if we say some verse in Rasa Bhas, Mahaprabhu will become angry with us. So therefore, that job is a very tough job which Swarup Damodar does. Yeah. And then Krishna, how is Rasika Shekhar? Is three ages like Kaumara, Pauganda, Kaishwara are explained. The speciality of Kaishwara ages, Kaumara means 1 to 5 years of age, Pauganda is 5 to 10, and Kaishwara is 10 to 14. That is the age of Krishna. So in Kaumara age, Krishna steals butter. And kills all the demons like Putana, Trinavar, Tagasura, and all those. Sorry, Putana, Trinavar, Shakatasura, and Nalakurmanigiri Uddhar. And after that, they leave Gokul Mahavan and come to Vrindavan, isn't it? And then as he crosses 5 years, he dances on the Kaliyad. Like that, many other pastimes he performs. And at the age of 7, he lifts the Govardhan hill. That is also Pauganda age. At the age of 8, he dances with the gopis in Rasa dance. At the age of 11, he leaves Vrindavan. And then that is the Kaishwara age starts at 10 and 11. And then he leaves Vrindavan. He's now a Kishore at the time. And then goes to Mathura. And then from there, 13 years, 13 and a half years, he leaves for Mathura and goes for Dwaraka after that. So in this Kaishara age, is a tender age of 10 to 14. In that, Krishna performs many beautiful dances. And now these are the three internal reasons are coming now. Here, we will summarize that. It's going to come here. So after giving some explanation, which I have already spoken till now. So all this has to be put together in one. That verse is explained here. I'll recite that verse, yeah. Okay. So, just like you all said that verse before, Radha Bhavajuti, this similarly in this 230 to 277, the Adilila 6th verse is explained very beautifully, and that is the verse I wanted to show you. I'll just show you that verse, which is explained here, 232. This is a big verse, stout verse it is. Very important to recite now, because we are remembering Lord Chaitanya's appearance, so we'll recite this verse. Shri Radhaya Pranaya Mahima
Shri Radhaya Pranaya Mahima
Idrisho Vanayaiva
Idrisho Vanayaiva
Vadyo Yena Adbhuta Madhurima
Svadyo Yena Adbhuta Madhurima
Idrisho Vamadiyah
Kidrisho Vamadiyah
Saukyam Chasya Madana Bhavatah
Saukyam Chasya Madadubhavataha
Idrisham Veti Lobhat
Idrisham
Kidrisham Veti Lobhat
Tadbhavadya Samajani Sachi
Tadbhavadya Samajani Sachi
Garbha Sindhau Harindu.
Garbha Sindhau Harindu.
Yeah. See here they say Shri Radhayaha Pranaya Mahima, desiring to understand the glory of Radha and his love. That is the first reason said. I already told you the past times. To know the glory of Radha and his love. That was his desire. Kidrisho Radhayaha Pranaya Mahima. Kidrisho. What is the nature of Radha and his love for me? With that desire, he came. Secondly, Swadyo Yena Adbhuta Madhurima. Kidrisho Va Madhyaha. That means, what are the wonderful qualities in me, Krishna? Krishna is asking himself. And the good qualities in me. I have to become a devotee to see it. Like you can't see your own face, isn't it? How can you see your own face unless you have a mirror? So Radharani is called Bhagavad Guna Darpanam. Like Lord Vishnu wants to know his own glory, he calls Garuda and says, Garuda, please tell my glories. Garuda explains to him. Similarly, if he wants to see his own glory, he has to become Radharani, isn't it? Swadyo Yena Adbhuta Madhurima. What is the Madhurima in me? For that he becomes Radha, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Saukhyam Cha Asyama Mad Anubhavataha. After practicing devotional service to me, what is the happiness that she feels when she realizes sweetness of my love? That is the third thing. Second thing is, he wants to know the wonderful qualities in Krishna. And the third one is, but those wonderful qualities, how they influence Radha in his heart. That's the third one. What Saukhyam, a joy that he experiences in her heart by coming in contact with Krishna's qualities. Tat Bhava Deha Samajani Sachi. The Supreme Lord Hari, richly endowed with her emotions, appeared in the womb of Sachi Devi. And like the Harindu means the moon, like the full moon. So this is a verse which gives a summary of Lord Chaitanya's appearance in form. Till now, leading to this verse, all the verses which I haven't read through, they explain this only. It's leading to this verse. And one more thing that is explained is there is not even a trace of lust in the heart of Krishna or Radharani. There is also another thing that is explained, that the purity of their love. So those are the things that are explained here up to this. So, and then these are, then the further chapter, if you see, it explains about Krishna want to experience the emotions of Radha. These things are further explained on Krishna. What is Krishna's contemplation? Krishna destined to descend. And Krishna wanted to experience the emotions of Radha. Those are the things that are explained. Now, because we have run out of time, it's a little long chapter, but essentially I have covered the three reasons. And that is the reason I told you the pastimes to help capture the mood of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Because the chapter is a bit exhaustive, shlokas are there. But when you read them, you will easily understand them now, because you have understood the overall mood with which Lord Krishna has appeared as Srimati Radharani. I can take one question, maybe another 5 minutes. Anybody would like to share something, any reflection, or you would like to ask any question?
There
Hare
was
Krishna,
one
Prabhu.
second, yeah, in the chat.
You can go
Yeah.
ahead, Prabhu.
Yeah, Hare Krishna, yeah, please.
I think Shukeshwari Mataji has a question in the chat.
Yeah, you can ask.
Thank you,
yes.
Prabhu. Prabhu, I was thinking that when we read about Shringar Rasa, is it
Yeah.
that only Gaurahari's, I mean, Gauranga Mahaprabhu's followers
Yeah,
read this and understand this and consider this to be the highest? Because, like you said, Hanuman
Yeah.
is happy with what he's performing.
correct.
So all the Gaura Vaishnava Sampradaya literature would say this is highest because this is what we are supposed to take. Is that right, Prabhu?
Yeah, actually, objectively, if you see, I will ask you a very simple question. The Prime Minister in the Parliament and Prime Minister at home, which is more intimate?
At home.
At home. So in the home, there is more sweetness, there is more loving exchange, there is more intimacy, there is more fun, and there is more thrill and joy at home. Whereas if you see the Parliament, he is in a different mood. Everybody is in a respectful mood. They salute him, they stand up, there is reverence, there is fear. All those things are there in that. So in Gaudiya Vaishnava we say that we would like to be connected to Lord at home in the joyful mood in which Lord manifests himself, isn't it? Now, many people actually cannot relate with that. They, especially in South India, I have seen people who are worshippers of Balaji or Ranganath, many times, they prefer very reverential worship. They like to keep the Lord in the highest pedestal and worship him in a reverential mood. So when you talk about intimacy, they will say, oh, this is offensive. How can you deal with Lord like a friend? They will say, they just cannot cross their head. And the devotees who have dealt with Lord in intimacy, they will never like reverential admiration. Like the gopis, when they saw Vishnu with Shankha Chakra Gada Padma, Krishna transformed himself into Vishnu form once to trick the gopis after he left the rasa dance. The gopis thought it is Krishna, they ran there, but when they went nearby, they saw Vishnu and they said, oh, this is Narayan. And they offered obeisances to him. And they got up and asked, oh Narayana, please can you guide us in which direction Krishna went? And then Narayan showed them the direction, which goes to show they're not interested in Narayana. They're interested in Krishna. So we can see that from an objective point of view, the intimacy is superior to reverential worship. And fortunately, we are attracted to that type of role, and Lord Chaitanya comes to teach it. And we don't argue with Sri Vaishnavas or any other Vaishnavas. We don't go and have some heated argument that we are superior to you. And that is a sign of neophyteness. Because in Tattva, Krishna and Narayana are non-different. Lord Chaitanya tells this to Venkata Bhatta. But on Leela point of view, they are different. Like for example, a person in parliament, prime minister in parliament and prime minister at home, the person is same person, but his mood is different. It's like saying 2 plus 3 apples is 5 apples, or 2 plus 3 mangoes is 5 mangoes. The mathematics is same, but the juice is different. Is that clear, Madhya?
Yes, Prabhu. I have another question. If somebody else has, then I will wait, Prabhu.
Yeah. Yeah, now I think you can ask, I think, yeah.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, this is Srinivas Gopaldas. I have one, maybe, can you elaborate, make me understand a bit more on Gaur Gadadhar worship versus Gaur Nitai worship?
Yeah. Actually, Gaur Gadadhar was worshipped by Bhakti Vinod Thakur. His very dear deities, Gaur and Gadadhar. And because Gadadhar, as I told you, if Radharani having given her Mahabhava to Krishna, and she has also given her duty, Kanti of her body to Krishna. And she is coming with Krishna to, just like I told this example, any company is selling a machine. they will send one of their employees for commissioning the machine in another place in order to teach the people how to utilize that machine properly. And if the users of the machine have some difficulty, they can check with that employee from the company. Similarly, Gadadhar is accompanying Gaur in order to teach Krishna how to use that Mahabhava that she has given him. So they both are accompanying, and that's what he was very attracted to, our Bhakti Vinod Thakur. And Srila Prabhupada established Gaur Nitai deities. But Prabhupada taught us to worship not any one, two of them, but all five of them, Panchatattva. In Mayapur, Prabhupada established Panchatattva. And he told always to sing the song that Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Daya Karo More. Because each of them, this I explained in the first lecture, out of the series of 4 lectures. The first one, 4 or 5 we had lectures, and first one we had a talk on this. And it was explained there that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna, Nityananda Prabhu is Balaramji, and Mahavishnu in the mood of Sadashiva is Aditya Prabhu, who teaches Pancharatrika Vidhi. And on this extreme side, you find Srivas Thakur, who is Narada Muni, teaching us Bhagavata Vidhi. So 2 extreme personalities in Panchatattva explaining Pancharatrika and Bhagavata Vidhi, deity worship and studying Srimad Bhagavatam. And the Gadadhar Pandit is Radharani, having given the Mahabhava too. So we worship all the 5. We call as Panchatattva. Prabhupada said, Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhara, Shivasadi, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. If we recite this full mantra, then we are completely free from offenses to chant the holy name. Is that all right, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu.
Yeah, thank you. Hare Krishna. Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dhanavad Pranam, Jai Shri Prabhupada. I have a question, Prabhuji. I posted in the chat. Can I ask that?
Is it the blue color of Krishna?
Yeah, you mentioned about blue complexion. Radharani, when she's angry, she doesn't want to see anybody wearing blue. So I was just wondering that what is the reason of Krishna's blue complexion? Like in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Garbhodakashai Vishnu's complexion is mentioned as blue because of the contaminated mentality of the jivas. So that is mentioned. But here, what is the reason? I mean,
actually, that blueness is different from this blueness. For example, in the material world, yellow color represents Sattva Guna. But when Radharani's yellow color is Vishuddha Sattva, isn't it? It's completely Vishuddha Sattva means pure goodness, which is untainted by Rajaguna, Tamaguna. So in the same manner, when we talk about the blueness in the, actually it is talking about the blueness of the jivas who have fruity mentality, who are in the navel of Garbhodakasha Vishnu or Mahavishnu. That blueness shows the fruity mentality. Whereas the blueness in Krishna's body is Vishuddha Sattva. It's a glossy blue. Even Lord Vishnu is also glossy blue. That is explained by Shiva. Snigdha pravrid ghanashyamam sarva saundarya sangraham. Like that he says. Snigdha means glossy blue. You know this, what do you call it? Close-up toothpaste, you have seen that? Glossy blue. Yeah. So Lord's form is like that, glistening blue. So that blue is eternal color of his body. Lord Rama is eternally green. Krishna and Vishnu are eternally bluish. And Balram is eternally fair in color. So these colors are bodily colors of the Lord, and they have nothing to do with this thing. Actually, Radharani's body is golden yellow because there is 7th order love, we call it. Like we say Sneha, Pranaya, Raga, Anuraga, Bhava, Mahabhava. Madhunokya Mahabhava is the 7th order love. And in that love, the body becomes completely like molten gold color. That is Radharani's color. Similarly, Krishna's body is eternally bluish. Supreme enjoyer, his body is bluish eternally. And some people asked me, why Krishna plays on the flute, why not guitar or something? No, his preference is flute. Sometimes some reasoning is given in some pastimes that the flute is hollow. You can see through it, and it has holes also. The flute himself says to gopis in one of the talks, flute tells the gopis, why I became so dear to Krishna. He says that I'm inside out, outside in. I have nothing to hide. If you see a veena, it has got something to hide, in a veena one side. You don't know what is inside it. Whereas flute, you can see through it, nothing to hide. So we have to be like flute, innocent devotees. And the flute also says, see, they poked holes in me. Similarly, any devotee who is ready to tolerate the poking of others and go on in Krishna consciousness, then they can become dear to Krishna like a flute. Like Ambarish Maharaj was poked by Durvasa Muni. Still he continued his devotion service, Prahlad Maharaj also. So the flute says that. Another thing the flute says, see, I have been separated from my other bamboos and taken by Krishna. Similarly, if anybody in this world is ready to forego all material relationship, friendship, society, love and all these things, and not just be caught up in Jati Dharma or Desh Dharma and all those things, but one is wholly devoted to Krishna, then they can become dear to Krishna. Like the flute says. Therefore, Krishna uses the flute. Like the flute himself says his reason. So we may give some reasoning, we may read somewhere, but actually we also should know that like you and all other devotees here, we all have our likes, isn't it? Lord also has his likes. He likes to be bluish in color. He likes to play on the flute. He likes to have a pitambar dress. He likes Kaustubha jewel, like that. He also is a personality. A personality means he can have his likings, isn't it? So therefore, we have no special interpretation for bluish. As far as I have heard, I haven't heard about it. So
Thank you, Prabhu.
yeah, thank you. So we all have been hearing on this. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appearing in this month. I am also speaking a Gaur Purnima lecture for. I'm going to Ramajay Prabhu. I think. Where is it? I don't know. Yeah, I will be speaking. It will be later lecture on the Gaur Purnima day. I think the 1st March. I think 1st March morning. I may speak whatever I spoke to all of you. Probably I'll consolidate it in one lecture, just 1 hour. But you had it in 4 or 5 sittings. Gradually we developed it. But most of the essential points you have already understood well. So thank you all for the opportunity. And next month, as I proceed, even if you are interested to further go on with this type of lectures, you wish to join, I can do that. And I can start some Krishna Leela leading to Janmashtami. Janmashtami will be in August or so. Now, April, May, June, July, August. In these 5 sittings, I can do something on Krishna Leela. And Brajaka Prabhu will coordinate it. And Brajaka Prabhu, you can check with devotees if they are interested in seeing me continue 1 lecture in a month like this. I will do that. I can give it. Yeah.
Devotees actually want to do more if you can, but
yeah, I am speaking to Austin. Yeah, on 20th, on 28th February, 28th March afternoon, 28th March.
Yes.
Evening. I think. Yeah.
We will share the link for this session, Prabhu. I have the.
You can share the link.
Yeah.
That will be for you. I think it will be Gaur Purnima day for you. I think you all will be in celebration. In case you have time, you are free. You are most welcome. And the next month date, can I tell you, Prabhu? We will finalize it now itself. And March, April
4th.
I haven't marked here. Prabhu, can I mark? 5th April I can mark?
Yeah, your 5th April is our 4th. Yes, Prabhu.
Actually, yeah, 5th April, for you it's 4th evening.
Correct.
Yeah. That is, actually daylight savings time will change from next week. Oh, it seems your timings are changing there. Prabhu, what will be your time? If it is 3:15 for me here in India, what will be your time when daylight savings time changes?
45 in the
45.
For 45 minutes, it varies, huh?
1 hour ahead.
Okay, Brajaka Prabhu, for me, this 3:15, 4:15 is very suitable for me. After that, I go from Mangalarti and all my other programs.
Sure. We will adjust our timing accordingly.
Thank you. So thank you all for your enthusiasm and steadily coming and appreciating the subject of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Your presence for this program gave me a chance to glorify the Lord, and I'm grateful for the opportunity. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Yeah. What is the question?
Question
Blue. That is what I was telling a few minutes ago. You can ask Sudhi Mataji, she will explain to you. Now my conchal is blowing in the temple. I have to run for the Mangalarti now. Thank you.
Prabhuji, thank you so much for your time with us. And we'll continue
Thank you.
Bhagavatam next month.
Thank you, Prabhu. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripasindubhyascha
Pranam Prabhunibhyo Vaishnavibhyo
Namaha.
Bhagavati Vaishnavrinda ki jai. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki
Jai.
Shri Panchatattva ki
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai.
Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki
Jai.